Hey everyone, welcome to this week's transformation reading, where we've been taking a card from this deck that I'm working on with the creator and seeing what emotion the creator would like us to transform from one based in fear into one based in unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. We're down to just two, so we're almost done with this stack of the deck, and we'll just see if we're going to continue on after that once we finish these. So I'm just going to this is shuffling, right? We'll see which one here, and I feel like it's going to be this one here. And so we are looking at Cruelty. Dun dun dun. The pirate. And this is, Cruelty is about, with this flag here, it is about these judgments that we have around individuals' actions, and cruelty is like. It goes way beyond mean, right? Cruel is like a very extreme meanness, right? That's what we feel pirates do. They rape and pillage and burn and steal, and, it instills a lot of fear, when, like Pirates of the Caribbean made it very, much less fearful than we did in the past, but there's been some really scary movies with pirates in them where they are there, that true cruel type of, actions, those impacts that they make on other people's lives, ending lives and taking away from them, right? So it definitely represents this, definitely a fear-based emotion that we have when people's actions look cruel from our point. And then, of course, the new movie that just came out with Cruella. So, that evil, that devil of a woman, Cruella, so it's definitely this evil type of feeling that we have. And we'll look at it, from individuals, we look at it from leaderships and, political leaders and all that type of stuff. We have this feeling of like tyrannical tyrants and all that kind of stuff. But what I love with the creator here is they have overthrow the dictator, and what that means, it doesn't mean, to go and try to overthrow the government or anything. Please don't take that as a message of that, because the dictator is here. All that stuff we see on the outside, those cruel acts, all those, whatever we see in the world isn't what's really going on. Our mind filters so much of the world that we see the world as we are on the inside. I recently was reading some material for the Kabbalah. We call it the Kabbalah, but these individuals call it Kabbalah. And it is amazing because they talk about like we're this square and we have these 5 entry points, which are our 5 senses, and it takes on all the information from the outside world, but they're not openings into our mind. They're actually filters into our mind. And they were talking about, our brain can like process these billions and billions of bits of information and everything going on around us per second. And our brain, how it transforms it and processes the data is like 0.0000005% of that. So we really only see a very small piece of what's really going on around in our physical, realm, with what we're seeing, what we're hearing, what we're tasting, what we're touching, what we're smelling. It's very, 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 very limited. So, what we're seeing out there has so much to do with the filters that are in the inside of us. And so when we look out and we think someone is performing a cruel act, everything on the outside world is the mirror for us. And we can take a deep breath and pause and step away and step out of the fight or flight by deep breathing and getting to a calm place. And once we're there, then we can question, how am I, having that appear in my life? How is that being expressed within me? So like in the case of like, we feel like there's a dictator that is being cruel and imposing things on us, then I look at myself and go, how am I being a dictator? How am I trying to control other people's lives? And I'm like, oh, there it is. You should be doing this. You need to do that. You have to do this. You should be doing this. You're supposed to, all that is that dictatorship I'm trying to control and, make all these other people do what I want them to do. Or I want that from them, I'm pirating that. You need to love me or else, there's all this beautiful mirroring that happens. And when we are willing to take that deep breath and take a step back and really look at what's going on in the world and take a deeper look at what's really going on inside us, then as we change on the inside, then suddenly our world changes. That flag, gets brought down and a new flag, goes up. That's different. We transform what we're seeing because we're seeing things more clearly. The more we get deeper into us, the more we connect to this beautiful spiritual energy, our soulful energy, and we start connecting to a higher point of view that does see things more clearly than our five senses coming in. I was reading something, it was on Facebook, I had an old memory that popped up from a beautiful, sweet lady named Byron Katie. She does the work at thework.com, and it's this beautiful self-reflection that you learn a lot about looking back. She has this sheet called Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, which is so beautiful because you fill it out and you just let your ego go full blown and just honestly what you think. And it's a lot about controlling other people. And, they made me feel this way when this and all this. But there's these beautiful transformations that come from all that. And the meme or the posting that she had put out was that we'll never find what we need outside of ourselves. And I'll say that again. We will never find out what we're really looking for outside of ourselves, because it's all in here. The love we're looking for is in here. The worth that we're looking for is in here. Our wholeness and completeness, it's all within here. Also, all the pain and all the struggle is in here. All our thoughts and our beliefs, all fit into that. A card that jumped out to me today in a reading that I was watching was the Three of Swords, which has a picture of a heart and has three swords stuck in it. And I loved, because I hadn't really looked at this before, because that, for me, that's our expectations. Those are the things that we try to control and dictate in the world. It's the things that were fed to us throughout our life that we take on, all those opinions on how things are supposed to be, all those opinions on how you're supposed to feel. We took on all those and said, well, these are my opinions too. Even if they contradict each other, we just keep on taking them all in because that's what we're taught, right? But all those are those thoughts and those beliefs, which are the swords. And our swords, our thoughts and our beliefs about a situation are what pierce our heart and make us feel this, cruelty and this out of controlness and this, seeing people in pain or feeling the pain because of someone being cruel to us. All those are these thoughts and these beliefs. The more that we look within and find our own inner dictator, and embrace that side of us and understand where we're afraid of. Because dictators want to be in control, because to be in control means to feel safe. If they're not in control, then they don't feel safe. They're in fear. So the fear is what drives people to want to control others and control things around them, because they fear that if these things are not happening, that they're not lovable, they're not acceptable, they're worthless. And so they try to over control things because they're so scared of being rejected that, they do overcompensate and try to like I said, control the world. So definitely the message for this week is to take a deep breath. Look, whenever you're feeling like someone is being cruel or being mean or acting in a way that's not up to your standards, turn inward. Look to your dictator and see, why do you feel that you need to control that other person? Why do you feel you need to control the world outside of you? Turn to your inwardness and see that you are a loving emperor of your own world, and you don't need to be a dictator of others. And as you go throughout this week, just know every second of every day that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and father of all things, our Creator. There's nothing you can do to lose it. There's nothing you can do to gain more of it, because you have all of it right now. All right? And of course, know that I also love you dearly, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, have a great week. You take care.